Welcome to a virtual tour of 75 Memorial Flames, an exhibition held at Manchester Central Library at the end of 2020. Holocaust Memorial Day 2020 marks the 75th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz-Birkenau. In commemoration of this landmark anniversary, Holocaust Memorial Day Trust ran a UK-wide arts project for organisations and community groups. Hundreds of groups took part, including schools, libraries, community groups, Holocaust survivors, refugees, prisons, museums, galleries, businesses, charities, and faith and interfaith organisations. Each group learned about the Holocaust and created artworks that feature a memorial flame. Each one commemorates 75 years since the end of the Holocaust, the genocide perpetrated by the Nazis and their collaborators against the Jews in Europe. In November 2019, a panel of experts met to review all the artworks. They selected 75 memorial flames, which have been brought together to form a special exhibition. Other artworks created through the project have been displayed in local communities around the country.
Emmanuel Middle School, Verwood, Southwest, and the piece is called United. Students discussed how the Nazis tried to take Jewish people's identities away from them, yet through all the horrors they stood together. The memorial flame emerges from the world like a phoenix from the ashes and is surrounded by figures standing together. The artwork features an extract from the poem Holocaust by Barbara Sonek. A group of 12 to 13-year-olds created the piece during Lunchtime Art Club after studying the Holocaust. St Andrew's Church of England Primary School, Orford, Northwest, Flame of Hope. 10 to 11-year-old pupils learnt about the Holocaust and had several discussions about the causing and implications of genocide. Each student made a glass heart for the memorial flame and added their thumbprint to the clay base as an act of remembrance. One student said, "We learnt a lot about the Holocaust and all are determined to do what we can to prevent it ever happening again." The class of 31 students created this work together. St George's Roman Catholic School, London, and the piece is called Stand Together. Students each chose an individual Holocaust survivor and researched their story before making a lino-cut portrait of the survivor in the style of the German Expressionists. The portraits are mounted on wooden flames and displayed standing together in the face of adversity. This group is 13 to 14 years old, studying art and history.
Brown Hills School, Brown Hills, West Midlands. The title of the piece is 44 Children of Izieu. Students learnt about the 44 children and 7 supervisors who were deported from a children's home in Izieu, France. 50 were murdered in Auschwitz and Estonia, and this memorial flame commemorates them. Only one person survived. Lee Feldblum. 472 students aged 11 to 16 took part in a design competition to create this artwork. HMP Franklin, Durham, Northwest. The title of the piece is Starvation. The art group at this prison shared their thoughts and feelings about the Holocaust. Members responded to a variety of sources, including poetry and Hitler's anti-Semitic legislation, and each made an artwork. This piece by John Allen features many faces. The main face has a line from the Jewish resistance song The Partisan's Song on the forehead. All the faces portray the sadness and suffering of the Jews targeted during the Holocaust. St. George the Martyr, London. The title of the piece is Protection. This church group were inspired by the Dispaly family, Albanian Muslims who hid 2 Jewish families during the war. The memorial flame is made up of 75 individual artworks, each made by a different member of the community. They are embossed copper in the shape of a hand of Fatima or hand of Miriam, a symbol of protection for Jewish and Muslim communities. St. George the Martyr is a diverse and inclusive community. Participants come from local schools, the community cafe, the Mental Fight Club, choirs, the congregation, probation service users and rough sleepers.
HMP Wymot, Voices in Reflection, Leyland, Northwest. Flame of Reflection. The group designed their artwork to evoke a sense of hope, as well as a reminder of the horrors of the Holocaust. This candle is held up by 3 individuals, representing us all standing together in remembrance. The rays contain values that combat prejudice, whilst the Hebrew inscription translates as "Stand Together." Voices in Reflection consists of 7 prisoners aged 30 to 60 from across the prison, with a range of ethnicities and faith backgrounds. King David Primary School, Manchester, Northwest. Flames for the Future. Children studied Elie Wiesel's book, Night, and the story of Hannah Goffrit, who survived the Holocaust after being hidden with her mother by courageous neighbours. The artwork is small wire and nylon sculptures constructed by each child, which together create a large memorial flame. The students attend one of the largest Jewish primary schools in the region.
I knew about the Holocaust, but the impact of reading those people's stories was massive. It made me want to cry. We have been so inspired to make this artwork so that we can honour the people who did survive and remember the people who didn't. It has made me realise how lucky we are as young people to have the world we live in compared to those children. This is a quote from a student from Queen Mary's College in Basingstoke.